get all the greasing done, fueling done, and check the water and oil. Boy, this can gets heavier every time I do. Oh man. You cannot be around a tractor without grabbing something that is grease covered. Just the law of farming, I believe. God, that thing's heavy. I hate picking up these full gallon cans. Ooh. I think this nozzle has seen a few better days. That one might be, toast. I do love the fact that this old Massey Ferguson just sips on the fuel. Never gets very greedy. Half a container. 2.5 gallons after a long mowing session. Not bad. All right. Let's get her cleaned up here. When I bought this old tractor, nice guy up in I guess north of Tallahassee, was a retired tractor dealer or salesperson, and he had his own little small used tractor dealership. And he told me this was a used tractor that had been on a hay farm and had always been barn kept and only used to pick up hay. And I believe it. Boy, it's been a good one. It's just it's always done what I needed to do, and it's survived my really stupid decisions on tractors. So it's a pretty darn good old tractor. And now it's full of fuel. We'll check the oil and we'll get the grease gun running. The noise in the background you hear is the new pool pump, which is doing quite nicely. Got it on a 12-hour-a-day run, and it just starts itself up and keeps right on going. I can never remember where these are back here. And once again, I think it's the nastiest job. By far, it's much worse than fueling. I don't know why I even said that. Okay, tractor's all set. We'll move the camera out and get started bush hogging. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. It's now Tuesday, September 2nd, day after Labor Day. We had a very nice holiday weekend and really just kind of laid low yesterday. Over the weekend, Saturday, basically, we did an awful lot of mowing, tractor maintenance, did some more maintenance. But the biggest thing we got done is we got the gardens taken apart. We got the terrible gardening year 2025 behind us. Just took the fences down, went in and bush hogged everything, and we'll do some soil prep. Got some potting soil I'm going to put in a truckload, and we'll try to build both gardens up a little bit. We've got some fertilizer. We got lime, and we've got some I think some other fertilizer. I can't remember what it is, but we're going to go in there and try to make sure that the soil is in good condition. I think I mentioned this also. We're going to move the lower field cornfield, which is typically field corn, up here near the house in our pasture on the right-hand side, just because we have better access to water. It got very tedious last year, going down to the pond, pumping barrels full of water, hauling them up with the tractor and getting them out into the garden. It's untenable for me. I'm not doing that again this year. That's over. So we'll get them over here. We can actually get hoses to this garden and put the water on the corn that we need. But it's been a challenge. I'll tell you, this year has been the most disappointing gardening season I've ever had. And what made it really tough was the fact that everything we had planted in these 4 or 5 gardens we had done before except for one. And the crops had been very good. This year was awful. I mean, it stunk from day one. It just didn't get off to a good start with all the water. I told someone this weekend we had two tomatoes that we ate from 20 plants. 2. We had maybe 10 watermelons out of 50 that were actually good watermelons that filled out and were sweet and did well. So I don't know. The zucchini, the sweet corn, and the okra were like usual. They did very well after a slow start, but overall pretty disappointing. And I think the weather was the main culprit. And again, like I say, I think the soil prep, I've just got to do a better job. But we're happy with where we are. The property looks good. It's cleaned up. We'll do one more overall bush hogging, hopefully, until midwinter when we go in and just trim things up. Thank goodness the grass has slowed down. I think being without rain now going on our 3rd week this week certainly has slowed it down. But until we decide to get involved in some other projects, we'll probably just take it easy for the next week or 2. And when we come back, I've got some flower beds that I'm going to add to the yard. I've got these crazy notions about relocating some different layouts of flower beds. The other project we have to do is putting our threaded rods through the extension on the garage. And Wendy and I have decided to build a sail. In other words, put 6x6s in, put a sail for shade with turnbuckles and cables. And I think we might try to do that for a garage area. Our cars here just sit in the sun on the concrete, and that's not very good either. It's not very pleasant. So we've got those 2 major winter projects and then some other things that I'll just do around the yard. But it's going to be busy. But like I say, we're going to probably take the next 2 weeks, lay low a little bit, and then we'll come back and maybe show you some of the garden prep and some of the flower bed prep that we've got going on. Hope everybody has a great week. Enjoy football season, because boy, it is in full flow. Until we get back together, take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.